Hello, everyone, and welcome to UFL Sunday Preview. So yesterday, obviously, we had two great games between the top four teams, with the Stallions beating the Panthers 20-19, and then the Battlehawks beating the Brahmas 13-12 to get home field advantage in the XFL championship game. So this should be a great weekend for those four, and we'll see the same two matchups in the same exact places we saw them this weekend. So, yeah. But either way, today in this video, though, we're going to focus on the bottom four teams. The Renegades, Defenders, and then the Roughnecks and the Showboats play today. So those are the bottom four. Really, they're not playing for much other than pride. And obviously, it's a last chance for some of these players to show off, what they can do for NFL scouts. I mean, the entire premise of this league is, yes, it's entertainment, of course, but it's also to try to get people, who haven't gotten, either haven't gotten a chance in the NFL, to show it past training camp, or just have had some bad luck. So either way, this is their chance to shine on our national audience, and this is their last chance to do so for the end of the season. But anyway, let's get right to it, looking at the Renegades and the Defenders. So we'll first start with looking at the visiting Arlington Renegades. So this team is kind of weird because they have a really good relatively speaking, their offense is pretty good. Luis Perez as quarterback has been, pretty good this year. 67.6% completion percentage. He has thrown for 2,094 yards, 15 touchdowns, and 2 interceptions. That's really not a stat line of a team that's 2-7 too often, but yeah. Running back Devon Smith has had 90 carries for 357 yards and 3 touchdowns. Their top three wide receivers are Sal Cannella, Tyler Vaughns, and J.P. Payton. Cannella, he has had 46 receptions for 445 yards and 6 touchdowns. Vaughns has 40 receptions for 419 yards and 1 touchdown. And then finally, Payton has 23 receptions for 379 yards and 5 touchdowns. On defense, the Renegades do give up 24.2 yards per game and 321.2 yards of total offense. So yeah, it's kind of been their Achilles heel a little bit, as their defense has not come up, especially in clutch moments. Case in point, the game against the Defenders, where they ended up blowing that lead late. I mean, that was a kind of a defensive failure, obviously. So either way, but yeah, now let's look at the DC Defenders. At quarterback is Jordan Tiamu. He has been their starter this season. He has a 58.1% completion percentage. He has thrown for 1,627 yards, 13 touchdowns, and 9 interceptions. At running back, Cameron Harris has 76 carries for 221 yards and 3 touchdowns. And then wide receiver, the top 3 guys are Ty Scott, Kelvin Harmon, and Chris Rowland. Scott has 20 receptions for 382 yards, 3 touchdowns. Harmon has 31 receptions for 375 yards and 3 touchdowns. Rowland has 17 receptions for 235 yards and 3 touchdowns. All their top 3 guys have 3 touchdowns. I guess spreading the wealth, right? On defense, the Defenders give up 24.3 points per game and 297.4 yards of total offense a game. Literally, these two only. The difference in their defensive point totals in terms of points per game is literally 0.1 points. So that's pretty interesting. I didn't even notice that until just now. But either way, but this game will be played today at noon Eastern, and it'll be broadcasted on ABC. But now let's look at the Roughnecks and the Showboats. So this game is kind of a game to see who doesn't finish last, I guess is what you'd call it, in the USFL conference. These two have just had rough seasons. The Showboats actually won their first game of the season, which was against the Roughnecks, and they haven't won since. And the Roughnecks, their only one was against Arlington, who again is 2-7. So yeah, these two are desperate to try to get a win. I mean, at 1-8 for both of them, they're trying to get something to look forward, whatever, either way, to end the season on a better note than how it's gone. But yeah, so let's look first at the visiting Houston Roughnecks. Their quarterback is Reed Sinnett. He has a completion percentage of 62.7. He has thrown for 1,120 yards, 5 touchdowns, and 3 interceptions. At running back, TJ Pledger is their number 1 running back. He has 77 carries for 252 yards. At wide receiver, Justin Hall, Kike Chisholm, and Emmanuel Butler are their top 3 options. Hall has 48 receptions for 534 yards and 3 touchdowns. Chisholm has 32 receptions for 346 yards and a touchdown. And finally, Butler has 14 receptions for 212 yards and a touchdown. He had 44 receptions. I mean, hey, that only gave him a second, I guess. Either way, on defense, the Renegades give up 23.8 points and 283.4 yards of total offense. Now let's take a look at the Memphis Showboats, who, yeah, I've had some problems at quarterback, whether that due to offensive line play or just bad quarterback play. But either way, last week Troy Williams and Josh Love took snaps under center. Williams has a completion percentage of 54.7. He has thrown for 591 yards, 5 touchdowns, 5 interceptions. Meanwhile, Love has 18 for 26, 261 yards, 2 touchdowns, and 2 interceptions. At running back, the number one rusher is Darius Vicker. He has 96 carries for 337 yards and 2 touchdowns. Through the air, he also has 25 receptions for 129 yards. Speaking of through the air, the top wide receivers for the Showboats are Dawood Davis, Jonathan Adams, and Vinny Papel. Davis has 39 receptions for 446 yards and 5 touchdowns. Adams has 27 receptions for 382 yards and a touchdown. And finally, Papel has 33 receptions for 276 yards and 5 touchdowns. On defense, the Showboats give up 30.9 points and 358.9 yards total offense. Yeah, not too good. This game is being played tonight at 7 p.m. Eastern, June 2nd, and it'll be broadcast on Fox. And yeah, this will be the finale of the USFL regular season. So yesterday we had battles for, I guess, one battle for first place, and we're ending the season off with a good old-fashioned battle for last. But either way, guys, thank you so much for watching, and I will see you in the next video. Bye.